An interview next on Eyewitness News.
How about that? Signs for a November 18th U.S. debut of his Liverpool Oratorio, a work commemorating the 150th anniversary of the Royal Liverpool Society. In an exclusive interview, McCartney talked with Joel Siegel about his first classical effort.
I think, you know, coming after a career where I've kind of been associated just with like pop, it will seem to people like it's a big turnabout, classical music. In my mind, it's more of the same. I see it all as music. It reminds me of when I kind of got into rock and roll aged about 18 or 20 or something. Wow, there's all that out there. Coming up to 50 now, I'm looking at, wow, and there's all that out there too. So I find it very exciting to be allowed to play around in that field.
You used the phrase more of the same, and in this there's a lot more because you're talking about 100 players.
This is the whole production involves like 300 people with the soloists and with the choruses and the orchestra. Kitchen sink time.
How did you feel the first time you heard all those people performing your work?
Great. It'd been difficult for me during the writing of it because Carl Davis, who I'd written with, a New York guy, is the consummate musician. He can write it, understand it, read it, so on and so. The way I've always approached music is to sort of hear it. I can make it, I can tell other people what to do, but I can't actually write it down.
You know, if I give you directions, I can't talk about quavers and semi-breves and stuff. I just sort of say that bit there.
How do you go about in the creative process of taking something as real and concrete as a memory and turning it into something as abstract as music?
I don't know, it's something I do. It's something I've done for a long time now, you know, so I suppose I'm practiced at it. You know, I take Penny Lane as a childhood memory. I just sort of remember the barbers on the corner, and then, you know, you just try and put some words, rather than saying, there was a barber on the corner, you try and say the barber who's got a picture of every head he's ever had the pleasure to know, or whatever the line is, and you try and poeticize it a bit. But it's just something I don't find too difficult to do that. It's a gift.
Are you going to do more of this kind of music?
I'm not sure the next thing that I do would be as big as that. It's great fun doing something as big as that, but it might be a little bit more modest next time. I don't know. It may be even bigger. Watch out. I don't know. No plans, really, you know, but I'm excited by the whole thing. And for me, you know, if at this point in my life I can be doing something I really enjoy, then I don't ask for anything else, you know.
Joel Siegel, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
McCartney at Carnegie, November 18th. Should be fun. That's Eyewitness News at 5 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in.
Has written an oratorio, music in the classical mode. And with Joel Siegel now, we'll hear some of this music and an exclusive interview with McCartney himself. Joel?
Thank you. Written to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the Liverpool Philharmonic, first performed at the Liverpool Cathedral. I interviewed Paul in London on the date it was announced he'd be coming back to Carnegie Hall.
Here's what's happening, baby. The Beatles!
That was Murray the K back in the days when if you gave Winds Radio 20 minutes, they gave you the Beatles. And the last time Paul McCartney played Carnegie Hall, he was part of a string quartet. Now he's coming back. Remember the last time you were in Carnegie Hall?
Yeah. A lot of seagulls screaming, I seem to remember. Wasn't that where we were? But, you know, that'd be special to go there. I've got a lot of relatives in New York anyway, so we'll fill the place with relatives.
The hall's been sold out since the performance was announced, but taking no chances. If he can't fill it with relatives, he'll fill it with musicians. He'll be part of an ensemble of 300, and he'll be listening, not performing.
This was the 150th anniversary celebration. We had to come up with something big, we felt. We couldn't just sort of throw him a tin whistle solo and say, good luck to you boys, you know.
McCartney wrote the Liverpool Oratorio, and one of the things that surprised me, he can't read or write music. He whistled, he played piano, he knew what he wanted. His collaborator, Carl Davis, the Liverpool's conductor and a New Yorker, did the writing. Another thing that surprised me, he doesn't have to write. One song, he dreamed.
I woke up one morning with this what's that? I didn't sit down to write it. It just arrived. And so, you know, you must ask yourself then, you sort of say, well, you know, Is there a God?
He didn't dream the oratorio, he lived it. The story of a Liverpool lad born in wartime, 1942. He'd even auditioned for this choir.
When I was 11, I auditioned for this choir and failed. So it was like, sweet revenge, I'm going to give those kids hell.
This has been billed as a big change for you. Is it a big change?
In my mind, it's more of the same. I see it all as music. It reminds me of when I kind of got into rock and roll, aged about 18 or 20 or something. I thought, wow, there's all that out there. Coming up to 50 now, I'm looking at, wow, and there's all that out there too.
For the record, McCartney is as nice as he seems. It's as if he decided he wouldn't be another Elvis. He wouldn't be prisoner of his own celebrity. One example, after the interview, he made a point of thanking everyone in my crew by name. I was impressed, and by the music as well.
Okay. So are we.